What Bible story would qualify as a Florida man story? Florida governor sends soldier to his death to make the widow his mistress. Florida man claims superhuman strength until Florida woman cuts off his mullet. Florida man impales couple after seeing them engage in extramarital coupling. Disoriented Florida man found on the beach claims to have spent the last 3 days in the stomach of a large fish. Florida man sold into slavery by his brothers returns to prank his family. Edit. Expanded storyline. Florida man with fancy coat sold into slavery by his brothers manages to become Lt. Gov of California. Pranks family when they come asking for food assistance. Florida women fight over baby until Florida man threatens to cut it in half. Serious. Transgender people of Reddit. What are some things you wish the general public understood about being transgender? Attention. Serious. Tag notice jokes, puns, and off-topic comments are not permitted. https www.reddit.com/r/askreddit/wiki/index#wiki_rule_6- in any comment. Parent or child. Parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed, along with their child replies. Report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour. And posts that are not appropriate for the serious tag will be removed. Consider doing an AMA request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I am a bot. And this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message, compose to =r, AskReddit. If you have any questions or concerns, that I'm not the devil for wearing a suit to prom. Literally. This past weekend was prom. I wore a suit. Trans man still in the closet. And most of the teachers hated it. I live in a very conservative community. And someone who is AFAB wearing anything other than a dress to prom is completely unheard of. I literally just wanted to feel comfortable for once. And then my uncle said that people were talking about my decision. And I was like, why, it doesn't matter that much. On a positive note, I looked in the mirror that night and finally saw myself. So yay. That being called brave for being myself feels pretty shitty. It makes me feel like I'm seen as just wearing a costume or some bad outfit. I'd really rather feel safe than brave any day of the week. That I don't want to cause problems. I don't want to be any different than anyone else. I'm not trying to offend or be controversial or be political or anything like that. I wish people, even though not everyone understands, trusted that I am who I am and I feel how I feel. I will be miserable if I cannot be myself. I just want to be normal in my identity and not be a conversation point. Trust us. We are no different than anyone else. We just want to be accepted and loved and seen for who we really are. I don't want to be trans. Lots of us don't want to be this way. We just want to feel comfortable in our own skins and be happy. When I came out to my parents, I remember saying, I don't want to be this way. I want to be normal and live my life. Which I think helped my parents understand a bit more about what I was feeling. If this shit was a choice, I would have never made that choice. The common narrative of knowing since you were a kid is really overrepresented. Same thing with all LGBTQ groups. Many of us, myself included, discovered it later. I discovered I was trans a few years after puberty started. Many people don't find out for well beyond that. You don't have to know you were trans as a child to be trans. What is the most overrated TV show? 13 reasons why should have ended in season 1. Every show you like is overrated and sucks. Every show I like is underrated and awesome. Well, I hate Riverdale. I grew up reading the comics and they sucked all the joy out of it and replaced it with edgy young adult drama. The Flash. Season 5 onwards. It's just the same shit. Again and again. Barry thinks he's not fast enough to beat the bad guy. Then he gets fast enough to beat the bad guy. Something new, please. The news. Always depressing. Go to controversial for real answers. Parents, what weird or creepy stories do you have about your child's imaginary friend? My wife and I were sitting for our nephew. He kept coming downstairs because there was a monster under his bed. So I marched upstairs, grabbed the monster from under the bed, dragged it downstairs, opened the door and threw it out into the night. Nephew burst into tears and was inconsolable because that was the nice monster and not the nasty monster. So 11 p.m. on a dark Saturday night and I am crawling around a damn wet garden looking for an imaginary monster and trying to apologize so my nephew could go to sleep. Mr. Nobody. He started as the person the kids would blame if one of them forgot to flush the toilet. And then his mythology evolved. For the record, all of this was conceived by 3 of my kids who at the time were 6, 5, and 3. Mr. Nobody has no eyes, no teeth, no tongue and no nose. He doesn't wear pants and leaves the used toilet paper between his butt cheeks so you can tell where he is by his smell. He doesn't wear a shirt, but has a pocket cut into his skin where he keeps the key to our house. He can be invisible. He had a beard since he was a baby. He bites off his fingernails and then drips blood where he walks. A friend of mine drew him at the time. https://imager.com/dokx2xp.jpg. Thankfully. Been a few years since Mr. Nobody has been in our house now. Part of how my anxiety manifests is through paranoid delusion, which made for an interesting go of figuring out what the fuck I was talking about as a kid. I would pour whole sodas and other drinks down the drain, and claim I was feeding the dragon who lived in the basement. This was imperative, not a fun hobby. That giant fucking lizard in the boiler room was going to engulf the building in hellfire if I didn't feed him. I was saving lives. I was about 10 or 11 years old when my parents figured out I was fucked up and that I really believed there was a dragon in the basement of all of our homes. A few years ago, my niece kept telling her mom about her secret mommy, who lives in the corner of her bedroom. Only comes out at night when no one but her is up, and talks to her. The whole family was terrified until they figured out it was actually an old alarm clock in the room set to a talk radio station that went off at 3 a.m. every night. Cold sweat smile. In the past I have seen things out of the corner of my eye and glanced to see nothing there. Of course that's just my eyes being weird and I stopped paying attention to those things. Well, my daughter is just a toddler and I had her sitting in my lap reading a book. I see something in the corner of my eye as usual and my daughter quick looks over there. She then stares wide-eyed at nothing and watches it cross through the room. This has happened 3 times. She's not at the point to where she can communicate what she is looking at, but we are pretty close. If it happens again, I'll ask her what she sees. I asked my parents and apparently I was in therapy for a handful of weeks because I was hearing voices. Around 5 or 6, kids start to develop their internal monologue. It was me. I was hearing my own thoughts. Terrifying. What TV series have you watched, start to finish, more than once? Band of Brothers. Blackadder, am about to re-whacketh married. With children. It's cheating because the episodes are only 11 minutes long, but Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and The Brack Show.
Subscribe, my brothers.